Guys, and welcome back to a new video. We're working on an Xbox One S at the moment that somebody brought in. Basically, this connector here is completely like fudged. I worked on one of these recently where the pads had actually lifted off the board and we needed to jumper wire these on. I believe the pads underneath are fine, it's just the connector that's broken, so we need to remove this and solder a new one on. So I've currently got it zoomed in on my camera so you can hopefully see, and I'm using my microscope to do this with. So I'll see if I can zoom in a bit more so you can kind of see that it's it obviously doesn't look as clear as it does to me in the scope, but oh, this bit's already kind of broken off. The pins are all kind of messed up and not making a proper connection. Apparently the customer tried to take this apart themselves and messed it up, I'm not sure. So let's just get right into it. So we're going to apply some flux. I've had quite a few comments asking what flux I use, and it's the Kingbo flux that I use. You can get it off Amazon or eBay for a couple of quid if you're in the UK, so it's pretty cheap. So there'll be unleaded solder on these pins. So we're just going to do this, and then we're basically going to got some flux there. I've lost the plunger for my flux thing, so I'm having to use some tweezers to push it through. You can heat underneath to remove it cleanly. This way I'm just going to put the solder over it and just melt the whole thing off, because obviously the connector's broken, we don't really need it, so let's do that. Once the soldering iron's off, it should literally just melt. You can wipe it off. It's a little bit of a more messier way, but as I don't have anything to hold the board with right now, I can't just like use the heat gun to lift it off. And there we go. And now let's just grab that with the tweezers. Now I'm just going to use some IPA and a brush, and I'm just going to clean it and scrub the rest off. And by the looks of it, all the pads look to be there. We just want to get some tweezers and just scrape the rest of this off. Now I'm just going to get a cotton bud just to dry the rest of the area up with. Now what we're going to do is replace the solder that's on there with some leaded solder, just because we're going to be soldering it on by hand, so we want to make it as easy as possible. Oops, that can happen sometimes. You can end up getting a little bit of solder on the board, but that's okay. But that looks all even now, which is good. We've got the new part here, so I'm just going to open that up and we can apply it. Oh. So you want to make sure that you don't melt the connector as best as possible. Okay, that I believe is all soldered on. Let me just check. Yep, no movement. Let's just clean it up with the brush. Now we need to replace this part as well. I have no idea how this has happened, but it is extremely messed up. It's a lot worse than the other connector. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit more. So you can kind of see there's like nothing left there. Okay, now we're going to do the same as what we did on the other one. Now that it's really hot, I'm just going to melt the connector off. Okay, that's about in the spot there. Now let me just go ahead and attempt to solder it in place. I'm going to need to use the tweezers to hold it down. And move it over. Once you've got the first like 2 pins down, then you're usually okay. So I went ahead and did the rest off camera because the camera was kind of getting in the way, so I couldn't really finish it off. This bit is unfortunately going to come off. So I've got that connector on and this one, so now it should just click in nicely without any issues. And it does. There we go. Perfect. So that is my job complete, and that basically rolls up this whole video. So now that is finished, I'll give it back to the customer and they will put it all back together because they didn't give me the chassis or anything. All they gave me was this piece and the board, which kind of saves me time as well, so I kind of like that. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I'll try and be a bit more consistent from now on, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you please do give this a thumbs up, every like helps, and subscribe below. Take care guys, bye.